Chapter 11. The New Hand, the Fifth Man. Silas left his cabin and headed to the galley for the morning briefing. The usual crew of four, Captain Hollis, the engineer, Mac, the cook, Barb, and the deckhand, Leo, were already there. But today there was a fifth. He was a young man, early 20s, with a neatly trimmed beard and startlingly clean clothes for someone just starting a deep-sea shift. He was introduced as Nolan, the new relief deckhand, filling in for an injured crewman. "Nolan here is filling Leo's spot for the month," Captain Hollis explained, stirring his coffee. "He's fresh out of Maritime school. Says he's eager to learn the ropes, Si. Show him how we do things." Silas offered a brief professional nod. Nolan met his gaze with a bright, innocent smile that did nothing to reassure Silas. Fresh out of school wasn't a good fit for the demanding small tug life. A large maritime company would snap up a top graduate, not send them to a run-down tug. The observation, as the tug cast off its lines and began its slow, powerful journey down the channel. Silas, now on the wheelhouse with Hollis, began his quiet assessment of Nolan. The mate's job demanded constant vigilance, and Silas found himself applying that focus not to the radar screen, but to the new deckhand below. The over-eagerness. Nolan wasn't just keen, he was unnaturally interested in the tug's systems. He constantly bothered Mac, the engineer, with questions about the engine room's configuration and the wiring runs, information far beyond what a deckhand needed for his duties. The mistake. During the initial mooring procedure, a moment that demanded quick, precise line work, Nolan made a blatant amateur mistake, fumbling a heavy mooring line and forcing Silas to correct the error with a sharp command. It was a mistake no trained deckhand would make. Yet immediately afterward, Nolan recovered with unnatural speed, tying a complex figure-8 knot with the slick dexterity of an old-timer. Silas's internal alarm bells went off. Inconsistent skill set. The clumsiness was a deliberate act, a facade of the eager novice. The sudden skill with the knot was the truth. Nolan was highly trained. The probe. Later that afternoon, during a lull in the journey, Silas found Nolan alone in the stern, organizing the heavy towing gear. Silas approached him, his tone flat. "That figure-8 you tied on the stern cleat this morning, it was clean. Too clean for a rookie." Nolan turned, his bright smile unwavering. "Oh, that? My dad was a fisherman. Taught me a few things. A fisherman doesn't use a figure-8 on a main cleat. That's a knot for high-tension rigging," Silas countered, his eyes drilling into the younger man. "Tell me, Nolan, which school were you fresh out of?" Nolan paused, the smile fading just enough to reveal a flicker of annoyance. The moment the professional had to adjust to the probe. "Virginia Maritime," Nolan said easily. "Graduated top of my class. I just need some sea time on a working vessel, mate. You got a problem with that?" Silas looked down at the younger man's pristine, expensive work boots, far too clean for a week on a tug. He didn't press the issue further. "No problem, Nolan," Silas said, turning to walk away. "Just pay attention to the currents. They'll kill you faster than the rust." But Silas knew the truth. Nolan was the marker. He wasn't there to work, he was there to observe. The organization that hired Silas didn't put a physical tail on him. They inserted a spy into his only sanctuary. The 28 days of service had just become a 28-day game of confinement and cat and mouse. His immediate problem was not getting killed, but determining how Nolan would transmit the information and how Silas could cut the line.